Okay. All right. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on a Sunday evening, Sunday night, actually. This is episode 23 of EdTech Mixplate, and since we're soaked for many of us, some of us have started, but for many of us, we're going to get started in the next couple weeks. We thought we'd do a nice back-to-school special, give you some tips, tricks, and resources as you head back to the classroom in the coming weeks. Just a couple reminders before we get started. Feel free to check out our EdTech Mixplate website, and there's a bit.ly link for you, bit.ly/EdTech Mixplate. We archive all of our videos as well as our show notes. There's a calendar for upcoming episodes of Mixplate, and we also have a survey form that we'd like our audience to fill out, and if we get enough participants, we'll start an email list. We'll remind you of upcoming episodes. And if you guys have any questions about EdTech-related things that you'd like us to explore in future episodes, feel free to ask those questions in the survey as well. But you can check all that out at our website, bit.ly/EdTechMixplate. And tonight's show notes are located here at this URL, bit.ly/mixedplate23. So all of our resources and edu rock stars that we'll be sharing tonight are listed there. We have links, pictures, and information. And we've enabled the comments and suggestions feature. So for any of you viewers out there, if you'd like to share your own resources, ask questions of the things that we share tonight, feel free to add them to the document. We'd love our audience to participate in creating those resources for all of us. Okay. Okay, so before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. There's just two of us tonight, but I think our other two partners will be joining us momentarily. But I'll go first. My name is Mike Fricano, and I am a Tech Integration Specialist at Iolani School in Hawaii. Michelle, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Michelle Colte. I'm a librarian at Halikula Elementary School.
Cool. So you guys actually just started Hawaii Public School. Started their first week this past week. So how did your first week go?
It went pretty well. We have a huge project, a construction project happening at our school. So actually, when school opened, the office staff had just moved into their brand new office, and we have the construction felt and frames down the hallways, and we're learning new pathways everywhere. But considering all of that, it went really well with the parents and the students and the teachers. And actually, from an EdTech Mixplate standpoint, I just thought it was really neat to see teachers posting in Google Plus how some of the things we shared, like ThingLink and Padlet, and even the principal incorporating those in. So I think that I can see how what we're sharing is spreading, building capacity. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's great. And I just wanted to give a shout out to your principal, Jan Iwase. Yeah. But she's been blogging a lot about the construction project and
yes.
how the first weeks of school have gone. So for all our viewers out there, check out Jan on Google Plus. She's sharing a lot about their experiences in school and construction project through her principal blog. So just wanted to give a shout out to that. And yeah, it must be pretty exciting. You guys have a multi-million-dollar project going out there, lots of new things coming up, lots of upgrades and stuff. So it must be pretty exciting, but I bet it makes school very chaotic the first week as teachers and students come back, yeah?
Definitely, and I think it really reminds all of us that we have to be flexible and patient, and
good things are on the way, right?
Yes.
Gotta keep that in the mind, forefront. Cool. I just wanted to remind our audience of a couple more things. We're using the Q&A app. I see Peggy George is with us, as she always is. So thanks for joining in with us, Peggy, in the audience. So use the Q&A app. If you guys have any questions or comments to add to the discussion, we love to interact with our audience out there as we talk tonight. And we're going to try again with this new Showcase app. So the Showcase app is marked by a yellow tag, it looks like, and through there we're we can share our resource links with our audience. So it was a little tricky last time. We couldn't figure out how to switch between the Q&A and the showcase for our viewers out there. But to actually, for our viewers, if you look up in the right corner, there's a little waffle icon. And if you click on that icon, it allows you to switch between the Q&A and the showcase app within our Hangout tonight. So feel free to use those two apps as we talk tonight. But definitely join the conversation with us via the Q&A. We'd love to see our audience out there. If you guys want to introduce yourself, feel free to do that as well. Okay, so I think I'm up first. If you guys take a look at our show notes, it was very difficult to decide, but I went with three great apps to start the school year. I have a whole lot of other apps that I really wanted to share, but we would be here all night. And I might do a blog post on more apps that would be great for back to school. But I have three apps that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you check out the show notes, the links and things to those three apps. And most of them are, I think a couple of them are available on iPad and Android. One of them is not on Android. That's the first app I'm going to show, but it is also available via your Windows tablet, if any of you have those tablets out there. So let me jump on my iPad here. I'm going to screen share. Okay, can you guys see that? I kind of tested this out. I'm using Air Server. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it allows you to screen share your iPad on your Apple MacBook or iMac computer. And it was a little glitchy the last couple times I've used it, but I was testing out before the Hangout. And it seems to be working okay. So I'm showing everybody my iPad here, and I have a folder called For the Teacher here with a handful of apps. But the top three are the ones that I wanted to share with everybody. So these are great apps for the teacher to use in the classroom, and for the most part, they're good for communicating with students and parents and making sure that your classroom is nice, neat, and organized. So I wanted to share with you Teacher Kit, which is a great app. I used it a year ago when I was teaching a technology class for elementary students, and since then they've made a lot of improvements. And then the second one, it's one I actually got free during one of those Apps Gone Free events, but it's 99 cents right now. It's TimeEgg Pro. It's a really good app. And I use it for one specific reason, which I'll talk about when I get to it. And the last one is a Scholastic app called Class Messenger. I can't remember if we talked about it before. I might have mentioned it in an earlier episode, but I think it's a great app to revisit for as teachers return back to school. So let me start with Teacher Kit. So Teacher Kit is it's specifically for the teacher and allows you to organize if you have multiple classes or even if you have one class of students. It's a great way to manage seating charts. You can has a built-in grade book. You can manage behaviors, and you can also it creates reports based on those things, on grades and behaviors. And it also has a handy feature where you can email parents within the app. So this is the starting page here, and you have your desk and your settings. Right now you can connect to Dropbox and pull files in. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect to Google Drive right now, which is a huge downside for me. I don't know about everyone else out there, but I don't use Dropbox too much. But I guess I could start using it for this particular app. But you can create a classroom, and I have a sample one here. And so here's my start page. I only have a couple students in here. I was just playing around with it earlier. But you can take attendance as well, and it'll track attendance rates. It tracks behaviors. It tracks grades. And it can also create seating charts. This is my summary page for my class. And then start from the top here. So in here, I can see my students. I can arrange them into seating charts. Right? So I can move these guys around and place them into groups if I want to, or create seating arrangements based on my class layout, which I think is a pretty cool feature in itself. You can do attendance. You can do a daily attendance. It's just a simple click. So I can tap. So I can tap to make absent. I can tap to be unrecorded, or I can tap to make present. So and it'll actually track your individual students' absent rates. If you want to see which students most absent in your class, you can do that by viewing the charts and reports. So it makes it really easy to determine those things. You can track behavior. So I'd say Bobby Bob here is he was a good helper today, so I can create behaviors in here and set them as positive or negative, or I can set up notes. And let me go back here, so I can add a behavior. Let's say staying on task. It's a positive behavior. Right? You could give it a description if you want to be more detailed, and you can set the date of that behavior, so when that behavior occurred, the time and the date. Okay, so it's really good for tracking behavior. If you don't have to do it for every student, maybe you have a student who needs special monitoring. You could do it just for, and you can track behavior for individual students. And then there's a built-in grade book as well, which I think is a really neat feature. So
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, sorry.
Before you go on, Peggy had a question about the seating chart, and I was wondering something about attendance too.
Sure. Let me go back to the seating chart. So what was her question? Can you change?
Yeah. Oh. Can you change the layout?
Or does it assume your students are sitting in rows for the seating? Well, it's just you can. I think you can do it. You will lose your current. So all you do is you click and drag, and then you can create rows if you want to, or columns, or you can create groups.
So it seems to give you flexibility, actually.
Yeah, I mean you can move these guys, pretty much anywhere within this space.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So I could put those two guys together if I want to.
So
you get a question about attendance?
Yeah, but I actually have a question about the seating chart too. Is there a way that, I guess you'd project this up like you're showing us now. If your kids come into class and you've made a new seating chart, you'd project it up. There isn't a way to push it out to them, is there, through the app itself? Or could you combine that with another app?
I think this is just strictly for the teacher.
The teacher.
As you said, the teacher could project it if they want.
Sure. And my question for attendance was, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but it kind of seems for DOE teachers that they have to use ESIS, right?
Yeah.
And so this wouldn't speak, there isn't a way that you could export this information. I mean, DOE teachers would pretty much just do their attendance in ESIS and use the other features of this app?
Yeah, I think so. I know like for Hawaii teachers, they got to use ESIS. But like in some situations, like at the end of the year, they have to, at the end of the semester or quarter, they got to fill out this note card with how many absences they have. So I know like when I was a teacher in the classroom, it was hard to go back to ESIS and count all those up. So
handy to have it right here with you in the app, with like you were just showing us all the behaviors too. That seemed really handy to have everything together.
Yeah, and for me as a technology teacher. Last year, I wasn't responsible for keeping attendance of my class, but in order for me to know who was absent during the last class and who I needed to catch up in the work, I could just jump back to this app.
Oh, definitely. I can see how this would be good.
Yeah.
For clubs and resource and yeah.
And then they have a gradebook feature, so I could add in new assignments, tests, quizzes, that kind of thing. I can give it a max grade. I think right now it's only based on like a point scale. It's always been based on a point scale, so your assignments have to be set up that way, and then it'll track the totals as you add more assignments to it. And you can weigh certain assignments heavier than others if you choose to. So it's a great way to go. Like what I used this for in my technology class wasn't so much to grade, but it was a way to determine if a student actually finished their project or not. So I just created it. It was I think I did like a 0 out of 1 if they didn't finish it, and a 1 out of 1 if they did. So I could quickly see who finished it and who didn't, or who was almost finished with it. So I used it a little bit differently than actually using it for grading purposes last year, but you could use it to grade assignments as well. And then what I don't remember this feature being in here last year, but you can generate these reports and it becomes a PDF document, and you can actually email it or you can print it. So you can email it to yourself and print it, or you can print it straight from your iPad and it'll print like this on the paper. So if you, once you have enough assignments in there, you can print out these reports. So I think are really handy. This one, there's only one page right now, so that's all I have. But now is up here in this little graph icon up in the corner. So when I tap that, it'll allow me to print. So I think it's just the app is free, but in order to get this the graphing and the reports, you have to pay $5.99 as an in-app purchase. So that's a paid feature if you're interested in being able to print out those reports and things. But if you don't care for that feature, the standalone app being free, I think it's a really good deal for all that it can do. Okay, that's TeacherKit. So I thought that'd be a good app to start the school year with. You can manually input students into your classroom, or you can create a CSV file and upload that with your class of students, and it'll pull all of them in. And one other feature I like is you can actually take pictures of your students with your iPad camera, and it'll put their picture onto that little character there. So you can actually have their picture in there as well, which was really handy for me in my technology class, having to deal with an entire grade level. I could take each of their pictures and I know who they are. It helped me remember their names and figure out who I was talking to. Okay, so that's TeacherKit. Next is TimeEgg. Did you guys hear that? That's the cow. So that's the one reason I like using this. So it's a great timer app. It actually has 4 different options. I can create reminders, and you have up to 8 reminders to set. You can do there's something called a D-Day, although I haven't really explored that feature too much. But you can set alarms for each day of the week, and what I mainly use it for in class is the timer. So you can set a time interval, okay, by sliding the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. Okay, and then the feature that I like the most, which the students have a lot of fun with, is the sounds. So there's a couple of fun sounds here. So the one you guys heard earlier, I don't know if our audience heard it out there, but it's the cow moo. So when the alarm goes off, that's the alarm sound that'll play, which the kids really get a kick out of. There's also dog barking. And you can also do a duck. So the students get a kick out of that. And I think it draws their attention even more than just a buzzer, because it's something that they're not used to hearing in the classroom. So when they hear a duck quacking at the front of the class, it definitely catches their attention, and they know that their time is up for whatever it is they're working on. So that's TimeEgg Pro. I think it's 99 cents in the App Store right now, so it's pretty.
Peggy said that right now it's $2.99 in the App Store. Maybe they raised their price because they know everyone's out shopping.
Oh, I'm sorry, $2.99. But it's definitely a great deal. Somebody asked a question. Oh, Peggy. Yeah, just going back to TeacherKit, it's a one-time $5.99 price. So you pay $5.99 to get the reports and things like that, and then you have all those for the rest of time. Even if you delete the app, if you reinstall it, you can restore the in-app purchase without having to pay again, because it's attached to your iTunes ID. So Peggy was asking that question about TeacherKit.
Mike, one thing you said about TeacherKit is that it does connect with Dropbox. It currently doesn't work with Google Apps. And I know you've looked at Google Classroom a little bit. You think if you're an educator using iPads and Google Classroom, you would actually just do all those same things inside Google Classroom?
As opposed to TeacherKit?
Yes, or do you think that TeacherKit gives some features that Classroom doesn't, like maybe the seating chart or...
Definitely. I think the teacher kit is strictly for the teacher. There's no way to communicate with the students in teacher kit other than sending them emails. But if you've worked with Google Classroom, it's much more of a communication tool between students and the teacher. So, but there are some features in teacher kit that you can't get in Classroom, like the attendance, the seating chart, those kinds of things. And right now Google Classroom doesn't do very much in a way of like reporting grades and things like that. So it's very limited right now in terms of graphing and collecting grades and stuff.
I think you've talked about it a little bit in a blog, haven't you? Maybe we should do an EdTech mixed plate on Google Classroom. That might be
yeah. It officially releases this coming week.
Yeah.
For all school Google Apps domains. So I think once that gets rolling, we should definitely discuss that more in a very recent future episode. Okay, the last app I wanted to show was Class Messenger. I think this used to be called with some weird name like what did you do today? But it was all abbreviated or something. Like the app name was WD something or other. But then Scholastic bought them, and the features kind of still remain the same. But I think it's a really powerful communication tool from the teacher to the students and the teacher to the parents. So in the app, and this Classroom Messenger, it's also web-based. So if you don't have an iPad or an iPhone, you can set this all up and use it the same way online through a browser. You just go to the website in the show notes. But as a teacher, you set up your classroom, and if you look here, I have as a teacher, mine's marked by an apple, so I'm the teacher of that class. And if you're a student, you have a little cap there. So I'm actually the teacher and a student of my own class, just so I could practice it. But as a teacher, you can invite your students with the class code, or they can search for your class in the app, which makes it really easy to connect. And parents can do the same thing too. So the parent downloads this app on their mobile device. A parent can join your class, and as a teacher, you can communicate things to parents. And if they have the app, you can set up the app to give you pop-up notifications on your device, on your iPhone. But you can do things like send general messages. So I could create a message and then send that to my class, and they'll either get an email or a pop-up notification on their mobile device. And let's see. I can also remind students of homework. So I can send like a daily homework notice home. Here's what I created for today, and you can also attach pictures. So I attached a funny picture there of a cardboard robot. But I can create a list of homework for the night, and I could, as a teacher, I can send this out to students as a reminder, and I can send it out to parents, so parents know that your child has homework tonight, and this is what they're required to do. So there's no lack of communication there, no miscommunication. So that's a really cool feature. And you can also send send out reminders to students and parents. So if you want to remind parents, don't forget to send your kid home to school with a lunch tomorrow for the field trip. And so this is a great, quick, easy way to do that. Or to remind students of a test or a quiz tomorrow, or that their project's due. Something simple like that we tend to get bogged down with and forget. This is a great app to communicate those reminders to them. You can also do these actions, and there's a couple different actions here that teachers can send out. The one I like the most is the survey. So as a teacher, you can create a survey for your students or even your parents. Do you want to volunteer for the upcoming field trip? Yes or no? Right? Or what kinds of foods would you like at our Christmas potluck party? I just did a sample here where I asked my students what their favorite school lunch is, and then your students or parents will get that as a notification, and they can go in there and make their choice, and then the app will tally up all those votes. So it's a really quick and easy way to survey your classroom. You can also do things like send out donation notices, ask for volunteers. and even a quick meet with me notice. So if you want to meet with a student about a project, or you want to meet with parents to talk to them about their child, they have a quick and easy way to send a notice. And as a teacher, I can send these messages out to my entire class, or I can send them to specific students or parents. So you can choose who you want to receive that message. So it's a great for that private communication between a student or parent, or you can communicate with the whole class, or all of the parents in your class. So it's a really great app to allow for that easy communication, really open the doors for communicating with your classroom and your families. So that's Class Messenger. Do you have any questions right there?
Oh, I don't know if they had questions, but sorry, one thing I do is I always look to see, like, what am I currently using, or how would this connect? And would you say this kind of replaces Remind, which used to be Remind 101, and then maybe even Edmodo?
That's what Peggy is asking. She says, how do you think Messenger compares to Remind 101? I haven't really used Remind 101. Have you used it, Michelle?
I haven't, but I know teachers who have, and one of the problems was if their parents didn't join or accept the code or whatever the process, they would only be sending their messages out to half the class. So getting the parents to sign up or to buy into it was tricky. But it's the same thing with this one too, isn't it? That we need the parents to accept the invitation or to join it?
Hold on, let me see.
Or do you put the parents' emails in?
I think you can. So I can add people, and if I put their email address, so I can put a parent in here, and if I know their email address already, I can type it in there. Or if I know their phone number already, just by I think most teachers send home like a contact sheet for parents, collecting that contact.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and then one difference with Remind is that, if I have it right, and Peggy can correct me, but I thought that the teachers told me parents cannot communicate back to the teacher. It's just push notifications out from the teacher to the parents. But you're saying Messenger can actually receive messages from the parents also?
Let me see. I'm going to go in as a student. Okay, let me try this. I'm going to go in as a teacher. I'm going to send a message to myself. And I can choose who I want to send it to. So I'm just going to send it to my student Mikey. Okay, now I'm going to go back in as Mikey here. Wait for it to update. There we go. So you see, when I go in as a student, I get a little one notification there. That tells me as a student that I have one message waiting from my teacher. Well, and once I jump in there as a student, I know that it's a general message, because that's where the notification is. Okay, and as a student, I can open up that message and I can reply. You see that there? I can send a message back to my teacher.
Okay.
But it does allow for two-way communication then, not just one way.
Yeah, that would be good. And I guess the teacher is still the teacher's information is still private. I mean, one of the benefits is that you're able to receive notifications on your iPad or your phone also. Is this a phone app too?
Yeah, this is actually an iPhone app. But I'm using it on my iPad. I can get down to iPhone size there.
It's a way to get around sharing your cell phone number with your parents.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah, that would be really good.
I think on the parent end, if a parent signs up themselves, they can choose. I think it's called. Let me jump in here. I think it's like it's an extra layer of privacy. So if a parent signs up with their email address and their phone number, they can select to have a second layer of privacy, and that means that the teacher won't know what their email address or their phone number is.
Oh, okay.
As a parent, if you're afraid of that information getting out, you can keep that private,
Right.
They'll receive the emails and the text messages and the notifications if you still want to be notified of those things.
And then, Mike, you said too that this is also available on the computer itself. So if I'm a parent, I mean, I know all parents have cell phones these days, but it doesn't matter what platform I'm using. You said it works for iPad or for Android.
Yeah, this one, wait, if I look, yeah, this is an iPad app. It's also an Android app, and it's also web-based. So you
Web-based, that's what you
log in,
said.
you create a username and password when you first um, set up the app, and you can log in through your browser with the same username and password, and it all syncs up. If you want to jump on your computer, and if it's easier for you to type your messages on a computer, you can do that all online as well.
Hey, sorry, I have another question. If you're a teacher and you're sending a message, can you go back to that one? Or even the student, it's okay. I just want to see if you can attach pictures.
To a message,
Yes,
as a teacher or as a student.
either.
So as a teacher,
I think you're in student now, aren't you?
I'm
Oh,
in.
you can
Yeah,
attach pictures.
I'm in here as a teacher,
Oh, okay.
and if I create a new general message, you can this app is connected to Dropbox as well.
Right, I see that.
Files to your Dropbox, you can even attach files to your messages
Hmm.
as well. It doesn't connect to Google Drive, which is another downside for me. But you can also attach pictures. You can take a photo directly with your device, or it connects to your camera roll. Or
I think,
if you're using
sorry,
web-based, pull it off your computer.
I think that in itself is so powerful for parents to, capture positive moments in the classroom and capture learning. If a teacher could send that to me as a parent, I would love that. And that's a great way to build the relationship and bring parents into the class. I'm not sure if Remind has that feature. I thought at one point it did, but the teachers who were using it at my school said no. So I think even on field trips it'd be great to. I'm sorry, you even showed us a picture, Mike. Sorry, you showed us that already. But
I was
that's
actually
awesome.
I was testing to see if I could grab this image as a student, and I can. So I'm in as a student right now, looking at my homework,
Mhm.
and my teacher attached this picture. If I tap and hold on my device, I have the option to save that image to my camera roll.
Hey, because then you can even, think of all the different apps you could use it with. Explain everything, or I can't think of the other one right now. It starts with, SketchUp. And you could, maybe you need to put comments on the picture or diagram it, or even ThingLink. There's so many possibilities then.
Yeah,
What a
I,
fun thing.
I think even as a student, I can just send my teacher a basic message if I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
you think of it as a like if you want your students, if they're over the weekend, I want you to take a picture of something that relates to a topic you're discussing in class.
Hmm.
Take a picture and send it to me in the class messenger app, and then we'll share our pictures with each other when you guys come to class on Monday. So I think even that would be a very powerful use of it.
I think the only thing I'm worried about is that, in Edmodo, for instance, I can see a whole stream of conversations, or I guess we don't use Google Plus with students quite yet, but maybe this year. Um, I'm just not sure here, like, is it time consuming, do you think? If all these students are emailing me back via the app, that's another place that I'm checking? Or can I have this email be sent to my Gmail, for instance?
I think when you sign up for the app, when you create your username and password, you choose what email address you want connected to it,
Okay,
and that's where the emails will go.
so it's still good there.
Will mess
Okay,
or that kind of thing. I think we've taken care of some of these questions here.
yeah.
Becky asks about parents. If parents have to opt into Messenger, how does the teacher communicate with everyone? So there's the option of the teacher manually inputting parents if the teacher knows that contact information already. So you have that choice. I would say just as a teacher, um, just informing your parents that this is going to be my primary way to communicate with you, and if you don't use this app and you don't sign up for it, you're not going to get all the communications. So just making that a standard and making sure that parents are aware of that up front. that would be a great way to make sure that all of your parents, and if maybe for the older classes, make it extra credit. Your parent has to sign up for this. You get 10 bonus points at the beginning of the school year, right?
That speaks loudly to kids.
How can a parent deny their child
Extra credit?
Extra credit.
Yeah. Hey, Sean has a good question too. Do you see Sean's question?
What does he say?
He's wondering if the data can be entered via the web portal or only via the app.
No, it's all synced between your mobile device and the web portal. So whatever you do on the web portal syncs with your device. Whatever you do on the device syncs with the web portal. So you can, if it's easier, I would even think for me it'd be easier to input all of my information via the web, and then I can send my messages via my iPad or my iPhone. Yeah. So.
And Peggy did clarify that you can send pictures with Remind. You know, I knew that, but my teachers were just telling me that it wasn't possible, so I'll have to talk with them again. But Peggy said Remind is not two-way. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
this is definitely a plus compared to Remind 101 then. Yeah. Oh yeah, she talks about yeah. So they said that it's a real bonus if you can reply back, which you can in Messenger. So that's a huge bonus. Okay, so those are 3 apps that I wanted to share with all you teachers out there. So Teacher Kit, TimeAid Pro, and Class Messenger. You see a couple more there, but I didn't want to consume all of tonight's time. So there's a couple more great apps there. I'm going to hand it over. First of all, I think Megan just joined us. So Megan, can you quickly introduce yourself? Say hi to everyone.
Hi, I'm Megan Cummings, Tech Coordinator at Halikula Elementary School.
Very busy Tech Coordinator. Cool.
Very busy, yes.
Thanks for joining us. I know you just moved, so you were waiting to get your internet connected and all that stuff. So
yes,
you're all finally settled in now.
Sort of. Yeah.
Still got things in boxes.
Still, yes, we still have things in boxes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna hand it over to Michelle. You have some Edu Rockstars to share with our audience?
Sure. I'll just share quick because I know Megan has plenty of things. She hasn't been here for a while.
Cool.
So in the show notes, I guess I'll share quick here. I put in the show notes a group this time, so I'm cheating a little bit, just like you did, Mike. But it is the Learning Technology and Innovation Team at Prairie Lakes Area Education Agency. That's a long title, in Iowa. And, you know, I follow some of these folks on Twitter, and I didn't realize that they were all connected until the other day when Leslie and Aaron joined EdChat Hawaii. And it was really fun to have them there, and that was a crazy EdChat. It was going so fast I couldn't keep up with things, but some of the conversations Leslie and Aaron had caught my eye. And I was so impressed with what they're doing. And so one question came up about 3D printers and Dot Day or something, or we were talking about Dot Day, and then Aaron shared a blog, oops, sorry, it's this one, called Sharing Dots, where I guess this was actually, it looks like 2013, so last year, when their school was doing some things for Dot Day, and it looks like they were using, shoots, I can't find the name of it just now, but anyway, I'm trying to share quick, aren't I? I realized, wow, it's Aaron and Leslie, and it's actually each of these folks, Mike Anderson, Julie Graber, Scott McLeod, and I might not be saying their names right, so I apologize, and Aaron and Leslie. And they have this team of educators, instructional technology specialists and consultants. What I really love about their blog is how they invite us to work with them. And you can, I know you folks can click through the tabs yourselves, but the stuff that they could do with their teachers or with groups, so different presentations, and then stuff they've done. And you know, I guess why this really caught my attention too is because, well, like here, you know, EdTech Mixed Plate, we do some neat things and we've presented places, but we've never put our information out like this. And even Megan and Rachel and I, we've done things, but we haven't presented it this way, and I loved this. And I think this is something, too, that the DOE, I wonder if they would move towards this, the idea of not just tech coordinators as schools, but instructional specialists. So I think that there's a wealth of information here, and I just want to share it with folks. So that's it.
I'm talking here and I'm muted. So that's 4 great edgy rock stars, and you put the their Twitter handles on the show notes. So
yes, so follow them on Twitter and read through their blog, and you know, I think too we need to start talking to our principals about what it is we need, because you know, I think that principals want to see technology being used in the classroom, but unless we have professional development, which, by the way, doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be conferences on the mainland. It could be things like this, or even, you know, working with people who have experience and knowledge virtually or through EdChat Hawaii. So anyway, I just want to share these folks because I think they're doing really amazing things. Just like our amazing Rachel, who just joined us.
yeah, hey Rachel, can you introduce yourself really quick?
Hey, sorry, I think I got a kid coming out of the bedroom. I'm Rachel Armstrong. Hi, I'm a tech coordinator at Halikula Elementary. Running a little late tonight.
That's okay. Thanks for joining us. I just wanted to quickly jump back. We had a couple questions come in while Michelle was talking, but wanted to address Elaine Higa's question about the Messenger app that I shared earlier. So she's asking, do parents need an email address to have access to Messenger? And I think when parents sign up, they can either they can choose to receive email notifications, so they would need an email address, or they can choose to receive text messages and push notifications with their phone number. So it would be up to the parent to decide how they want to receive those notifications via the app. Okay, hope that answers Elaine's question. Thanks for asking that question, Elaine. Appreciate that. And Peggy, she said, yeah, from the Remind 101 fax page, they are a one-way broadcast messaging service. But the class messenger app I shared is a two-way messaging service, so huge bonus there. And she also said that you can send movies in Remind. I didn't try. I don't think you can do movies in the class messenger app. So I guess, you know, each has its benefits and its pluses and minuses, right?
But I guess with Dropbox you could, Mike. Couldn't you have a video link in Dropbox?
Yeah, definitely. So rather than, I guess maybe rather than directly attaching that movie, you can just attach it through Dropbox. Cool. Okay, let's hand it over to Megan. She's got a couple paperless options to share for teachers this school year.
Yes, cool. I do. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm trying to go paperless, right? I'll go ahead. The first thing that I want to share is it's called Hello Sign, which is actually an add-on in Google Drive. So you can go ahead and go into your Drive, open up a document, and you would be able to do the add-on. What I like about it, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. That's not it. Here's what I did was I used the Educator Internet Access form. I redid it in Google Docs, and then I had created boxes for teachers to fill in. What they'll do is they'll go ahead and they'll go and type in their name. I'll go and do my own. And I can go and choose that I'm a teacher and I'm in grade 1, maybe. Then I'll go down and you can go ahead and sign. You can try to sign it yourself, or you can type it. And I will type it. Add signature. And it dates you there. And then I'll go down for the the computer care receipt of computer that we have for our school, and I just have teachers' initial that they've read those rules. Right. Add initial. You can go ahead and go down. And, well, you guys get the point here. It's just a really neat tool that you can create in Google Docs and then have specific areas that you want to sign off on. There is a fee for this, unfortunately, because you can only have 3 free documents a month. So I did pay for a month for the teachers to go ahead and sign. What I like about it, and I can try to pull it up. I'm not sure if I can pull it up here, but I'll get a PDF that will be emailed to me. I don't really want to show you guys my messy email box, but I'll get a PDF that someone has submitted their form, and it will kind of look like, if it loads, I should have loaded it earlier.
What's the cost of HelloSign per month?
Okay, so if you buy it per month, it's about $15. If you, and here it is. So here's like the Hello Signs.
And that gives you an unlimited amount of documents that you can create?
Right, so $15 a month gives you an unlimited amount of unlimited amount of documents that you can go ahead and sign through, but it will also give you a link, one link. That's the thing about it, but I can go and view, and it will curate within HelloSign for you. So I like it.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, I love the fact that this one connects to your Google Drive. You know, when I had to sign paperwork when I bought my house, my company used an app similar to this, and it's super easy to just pull up that document on my phone or my iPad and use my finger to sign it and send it back.
Right.
And this basically does the same thing, but
yeah, I would think this is a little cheaper. I forget what I use a different one when we purchased the house, but HelloSign goes with your Google Docs, so I thought that was neat. Another thing that I want to share real quick, if I can pull it up, I don't know what I did, is I created a template in Google Docs, and I just shared it to the template resources, and teachers will go ahead and fill in and let me know what kind of devices they have and submit that into a folder within our group. So 2 things to go paperless, and the last one that I said was to go blended, and basically that is you can use any learning management platform, but I like, and the only reason why I like it is because I'm comfortable with it, is CourseSite. It's the free version of Blackboard. So that's basically it. I only had those 3 things. What I did with CourseSites is I created a course for new teacher orientation, and they go through some of the things that we want them to know about our school and about the technology that we have there. So those are the 3 things that I kind of wanted to share to get your year started off. I don't know.
Really cool. Are we able to look at that course you created, or would you rather not share? I just want to get an idea of what...
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and log in right now.
Yeah, that you set it up as like a new teacher orientation kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, teachers are just so busy at the beginning of the year trying to get things started, and then for new teachers to have to cut into their time setting up their class to go sit in a meeting or go watch a video. Having a place they can go to on their own is
And I also have tutorials here for the rest of the teachers to take a look at. So let's see, I think it's this one here.
So I noticed
It looks like Blackboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all.
It looks exactly like Blackboard.
Is it all?
Pardon?
Is there paid features where you can get more storage, or is it just completely free?
This one's free,
Yeah.
and I think it has a little bit more features than it would on the Project Inspire Blackboard because they have a company purchased. They have different features, but it's basically the same thing. And you can go ahead and create your announcements as long as they have their email linked to their course sites, then it will push out the email to them. So you can create that. I have my may do's and must do's are basically the grade. It's like the grade book, so I set it up that way. And right now you're seeing what's hidden, but I've had like a sign in just so that I knew, and I kind of hid about myself, but there's an orientation part where I just did what I wanted to do for that during that time, because I did it kind of blended, where they would come in to see me, but they would also access this course sites along the way as a guide throughout the orientation, but also they could go back and they could go and access that resources. So here I have, I believe, accounts for state accounts. Here will, the help desk, of course, right? Lotus Notes. So you click on Lotus Notes. I gave them, if they wanted to access the web, information on how to do that. Or if they, let's go to the next page. Sorry, I have it in my view, so it's going to look a little different. But then what I can't find the next page very well. Here's the instruction for the mobile Lotus Notes. Normally there's a page on the side, you just swipe it through. And that's what participants would see. So I kind of set it up that way, give them the background if they want to access the webmail through a browser, or if they want to get it on their phone, I give them the information there. Those kinds of things that, we're constantly being asked throughout the year. I mean, Mike, you were a tech coordinator, so there's things that you were asked throughout the year, how do I do this? And I just figure if we put it in one place, that eventually teachers will access it, or you can always give them the link to go back to those things. How to access PDE3, and I'm not sure if we're using PDE360 now, but information on okay, Bon.
You have a fifth.
Yes.
Well, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
Creative.
And then, accounts for teachers, I went ahead and I did the Google Apps for Education. And some of these things, but we don't do this anymore, but definitely the Google Apps for Education, accessing our folders. And I kind of did it where they would access their folders, and once they did that, gives them the instructions, right? Then you go and click on that, and it will give you a link that it's like a quiz, but you just said, yes, I did it. And it would give me, as the tech coordinator, a visual of who, when they join this course, who did it and who did not, and who do I have to go and see, kind of thing, So I was hoping that I could check out Google's Classrooms to see if it would be similar and test it out on the teachers, but I'll wait until I get access to that.
It doesn't really do as much as your course sites does, I think.
Oh, okay. As a learning management, it doesn't give you that much where you can.
Not a learning management system right now.
Okay.
As many people online have stated,
Mm-hmm.
it's not an LMS. It's not really there yet.
Megan, you didn't receive your invite yet for Google Classroom?
You know, I was late to apply for the classroom. Yes, I did it really late, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna get it. So I didn't get the invite.
But Mike, do you know how it works? Because I know a couple teachers at our school, and I have it. So if we have it, does that mean we can like share or invite Megan in, or stretch it out to the domain, or how does that work?
Right now, Google is handpicking which teachers receive access. It seems random right now, but Megan, they announced this past week Classroom will be officially available for domains starting tomorrow. So it's coming become available. Do you know, Megan? You're the admin of your school domain, right?
Yes.
Do you have your domain set for rapid release?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's set to rapid release, then you should be able to get your teachers access sometime this week. You just got to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the way they're gonna, it's kind of weird. But I think the way it's set up is once your domain has access to it, anybody with a Google account in your school can go to the classroom's website, and they choose whether they're a teacher or a student. And if they're a teacher, they get they get automatically sent to a Google group that the admin has control of, and the admin approves them for that group. And if they're approved, then they're able to create classes as a teacher. So that's kind of how it's going to work. Nobody really knows for sure because it's not set up that way just yet, but that's the way that the help page describes it. So something to look forward to this coming week if you have time and you want to get that set up and going.
Okay. So cool. It's slightly different than like a learning management system then.
Yeah, because there's not too much you can do with it right now other than I mean, there's some great things you can do with it, but it's just a couple of really great things. But there are other, like, Edmodo and things like that can do a whole lot more right now. But Google has promised to update and make improvements and add features as the school year progresses and people provide feedback. So.
But Mike, didn't they say too that everyone can use Google Plus now, or no?
Everyone can be a part of a Hangout without having a Google Plus account.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so even the kids could be part of Hangouts, and they could just use their Google Apps under our domain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, thanks, Megan. I love those ideas for going paperless. I think we should all strive for that. Right, the less paper you use, the less money your school spends, and I'm sure there are other needs in your school for that money, so it'd be great to reduce that cost of paper. Okay, so I know Rachel kind of joined us a little late because she was putting her kids to bed, which is okay, but she had something really cool she wanted to share with us before we end tonight. So Rachel, are you ready? Cool, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I think he's actually asleep. I'm not sure. He might sneak out. Okay, so really quickly, I was reading through just today, and then I saw one that caught my attention. It was talking about word walls, so it was kind of interesting because I never really did word walls. I mean, sometimes when they were bigger words, but it was just pretty neat because it was talking about accessibility for all students, and it was talking about using QR codes with word walls. And it was even talking about the students making their own. And this post, I think it was a blog post by Matt Bergman, and he was just saying how you could take the word and put the QR code by it, and then if the students had a device there by it, they could learn how to pronounce it, see a visual with it, or even how to define it. So I thought that was pretty neat, and I thought that's a good idea for a beginning of the school year thing if you're thinking about doing a word wall. Because while I think it's a good idea, logistically, I think it might have some kind of craziness in the classroom. Just wanted to share that one, though. So you guys can hear me, right? Because I have these crazy things on tonight.
I keep forgetting I'm muting myself.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all get all that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't hear you guys back because of the crazy.
No, it's because we're all muted and I was talking when I was.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so anyways, QR codes, that was a cool one. And then recently I signed up for the ThingLink video. You got a, ThingLink has this new video thing coming out where you could put a YouTube video in there or a video of any sort to all different places. I think that's pretty amazing. I'm super psyched about that. So I posted that to our school community. Unfortunately, I signed up and I haven't heard anything back from them yet. I wanted to play around with that. And some of the teachers already posted back to me and said that they thought that was pretty cool, and one of them was like, yeah, now that we have YouTube at the school, that'd be great for the students. But only the teachers have YouTube, so if the kids were creating their, if the teacher created one for the students to look at, they wouldn't be able to do that on their student computers. But again, just something cool to check out at the beginning of the year. And I told you I was going to go fast, so the last one is NetSafe. Let me look back at it because I even forget the URL. netsafeutah.org. So I know a lot of people are just starting out for the year, and hopefully they're teaching their kids about how to be safe online. Because I think if you're really getting started in this blended learning stuff, the first place to start is about being safe online, the do's and don'ts. And so Utah has some great stuff online. Not just this stuff, they have some really great stuff. So you should definitely look into some of Utah's online resources that they already have published and available. But netsafeutah.org has cute little videos, short little video clips for the kids to watch about being safe online. That's all I had to say.
Well, thanks, Rachel. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. I think you chimed in on your QR codes. I think that's a really awesome idea, especially the fact that they have the possibility to hear the word pronounced correctly, which is a very powerful tool for the students. So that's okay. I think I saw that post on Google Plus as well for the word wall today. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'd like to try that out with a teacher if they're willing, but at the same time, like I said, logistically, I'm not sure if that would flow well. I mean, if the kid has the ability to just get up whenever and check the QR code out, that's one thing. And if the devices are available with the scanners already on them. He also mentioned getting the kids to make them themselves, so what visual represents it to them. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Cool. Cool.
But couldn't you use it too, like if you gave parents a QR, like the code itself, and they scanned it at home, couldn't it bring up the word so like they'd have a picture of their word wall or take them someplace? It could be like a reverse thing to take the word wall home, because actually that's something that until I started teaching in the elementary school, I didn't know what a word wall was. So, as a parent, when I was teaching at the high school, that was new to me. It would be kind of neat to see.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you can pretty much do anything with them, because they were just talking about the text feature on there. And he was talking about using Vocaroo, or I've used that before, and then the stuff disappears. I guess you could do.
Vocaroo wasn't reliable for us. Sometimes it recorded, and we could access the recording, and sometimes it wasn't.
Michelle's cutting out.
Oh. Okay.
Is that what Jan wants to try? Vocaroo?
We used it 4 years ago.
Oh, no.
Move on to something new.
And no, she wants to try Voxer, it's called, and that's a really neat app that we should talk about another time. But Jan's already tried it; she's using it. So Voxer and Vocaroo are two different things. Rachel, you're going to put these links in the show notes, aren't you? And Peggy's already started sharing some of the links to the things you're talking about.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not. It's not those.
I get on it later.
No. She wants to try Erasma.
Augmented reality.
She does, but Megan, didn't she send you an invite to Voxer too? Because Voxer is instead of texting people, you can communicate with voice messages in an app. And once you sign up, it's like you can connect with all kinds of people. There can be plenty of people in your discussion, I believe.
Mm. Okay.
Cool. We'll save that one for another episode.
Okay.
Okay, well, we had a lot of things to share tonight, a lot of great ideas for all you teachers who are either back in school or will be going back to the classroom in the next coming weeks. So hopefully you found some useful tools, resources, and edu rock stars to add to your plate. Just a couple reminders before we head out for tonight. Don't forget to check out our website. That's bit.ly/edtech mixplate. We'll have the YouTube recording archived as well as our show notes for tonight. And all of our past episodes are archived there as well. And if you're joining, if you're a new viewer or if you're returning, feel free to fill out our survey. We'd like to hear back from you. And if you have any questions or any other EdTech related things that you want us to explore in future episodes, we'd be happy to hear from you. And tonight's show notes are located here at bit.ly/mixedplate23. So we'll get in all those links that we talked about tonight. And for all you viewers out there, if you have any other apps or resources or edu rockstars you'd like to share as well, we'd love for you to add a comment or a suggestion to our show notes document. And we'd love to hear from you about that. So we had a good viewership tonight. We were averaging about 5 or 6 viewers tonight, so that's amazing. Thanks for staying up late with us, especially for you Hawaii teachers who have to go in early tomorrow morning. You're back to school after a hurricane scare. But thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode of EdTech Mixed Plate. All right, good night, everyone.